guy. He lives at Kent Road, Sutton, a near neighbour of mine. I only live round the corner. His hobbies are model making, painting and drawing. He also likes athletics and rugby. He enjoys coming here, watching the Saints, and his favourite player is Alan Hunt. He's just doing his limbering up movements there with Saints captain Shane Cooper. Kevin Ward just to the right of Martin. A big day for this young fella. A couple of changes in the Saints side with injury to Jared McCracken, but it reads Phil Beavers at full back, Alan Hunt, Gary Connolly, Tira Patty and Tony Sullivan at the three quarters. John Griffith and Shane Cooper at half back. John Harrison back after injury. He's at number 8. Dwyer at 9. Ward at 10. Forber, Nicol and joined to the back three, with the debut in the first team for John McAtee, and Paul Groves is at 15. The whole side just coming out now, led by their captain Russ Walker. And the whole side for this afternoon's clash: Gary Nolan at full back, Stephen, Grant, Gale and Clark are the three quarters. Rob Nolan and Ivan Henjak are the half-back pairing, with Dannett, Jackson and Marlowe in the front row. McNamara, Walker and Sharp the back three. Paul Harrison and Mike Dixon make up the side at substitute. So both teams now obviously eager to get on with the clash. Saints, the only unbeaten side in the First Division. 5 wins out of 5. Today's matchday referee is Russell Smith from Castleford. We had him a couple of weeks ago. Colin Steele was down on the sheet for refereeing today, but for some reason Russell Smith's here. One of our youngest whistlers. There he is, centre field. Shane Cooper just exchanging pleasantries with Russell. Martin White, the matchday mascot there, just shaking hands with Russell Smith. Shane Cooper gives him a pat on the back. Big day for this young fella, and who knows, in future years he could be gracing the hallowed turf of Nosey Road as a player. The Hull captain there just shaking hands with Martin. Just Shane Cooper tosses the coin. Saints will be playing down to the clubhouse end, I think, for this first half, yes. Martin there just getting a pat on the back as he hurls down to the dressing room end, down to the tunnel. He'll be taking his place with his parents for this afternoon's match. So the last Stones Bitter League clash before the mammoth game next Sunday against the old Pie Eaters in the Lancashire Cup final, and you can watch it live obviously when you come here, and then relive it again courtesy of your Saints video. There's Tira Patty in the centre this afternoon. Going to get things underway. Russell Smith gets us underway. Well, a knock on straight away. This big prop, Ian Marlowe, knocks it forward. And a chance now, well, John Griffiths, even though he's got 6 on his back, he's going to be feeding this scrum. Cooper out wide, obviously a tactical ploy here, a planned move up Mike McLennan's team's sleeve. Chris Joyce quickly in, but McNamara coming through, and he's penalised for moving up in an offside position from the scrum. First penalty for the Saints after just 35 seconds. Beavers, he's going to find touch. Just give the Saints a bit of space. Kicks it back. Just about 11 yards or 11 metres from the line. John Harrison back in the fold. He's had a back injury, it's kept him out for a few games. But Saints now wants early points on the board. Kevin Ward shrugs the tacklers off and drives forward. Dwyer, Cooper along the line. Griffiths. Yes, Nicol created the gap there, did Griffiths. Fed it through for Nicol coming through, but he just couldn't take it. Hull have possession. McNamara Well, Harrison meets him. On a young forward, McNamara, excellent member of the Hull outfit. Marlowe, this big lad, ex-rugby union. I think it's Beverley Rugby Union he came from. But now it's the other prop, Andy Dannett, being forced back. Nickel and Forber, the combined second row of the Saints. As Hull move it to John Sharp. He takes it centre field, but Ward wraps him up. And Hull are contained there. They've only gained about 5 to 10 metres in that set of 6. Now with Scott Gale. Kicks it upfield. Beavers lets it bounce. Takes it well and drives up centre field. Past the first couple of defenders. But Marlowe wraps him up. Dwyer to Harrison now. Up to the halfway line. Dannett in with the knees there on Harrison. He's already been tackled at John Harrison. Bernard Dwyer looking for space. And we know how dangerous this second tackling can be. John Neal, he's out for 4 weeks with damaged kidneys due to a stray knee going in the Widnes match. Courtesy of one of our seasoned New Zealand campaigners on the Widnes side that evening. Well, it's a chance now for Saints to open the account. John McAtee there, just coming on as Sandman for Bernard Dwyer. This young fella McAtee hoping to make his first team debut. Obviously he's on the sheet, but he'll want to get on the field. Fiery customer, setting this A-team, the Alliance side, alight with some excellent performances. A lot of clubs was after this young lad McAtee, but he come up here to the Saints, and I'm sure he'll be one for the future. But it's Bernard Dwyer, 32 metres out, strikes it well, it looks good, yes. Getting a lot of kicking practice in is Bernard Dwyer with the injury to Paul Loughlin, but just over 3 minutes gone. Dwyer opens the scoring for the Saints with a penalty goal. 2-0 the score. As I said, just over 3 minutes gone. Bernard Dwyer with his 15th goal of the season. Tirapati in at number 4 with the injury to Jared McCracken. A badly bruised shin, I believe. He could be in contention for next Sunday's match, whether Mike McLennan will pick him, because obviously against the old pie eaters the players have got to be 100% fit. Well, there's another one. Forber, excellent campaigner, just received a 30,000 plus testimonial check. John Harrison now. Ten metres short of the halfway line. Sharp for breaking exceptionally quickly from the line out, but Dwyer takes it blindside. The ball knocked down there. Ian Stephen knocks it down. Scrum down, Saints feed on the halfway line. Dwyer was moving it quickly to the left. Stephen knocked it down, scrum down with the Saints feed. Tony Sullivan coming through. Both of these wingmen, Sullivan and Hunt, looking for a piece of the action. And here's another lad, Chris Joint, only a young fella, came from Oldham, and he's been taking the Saints pack by storm. Well, the touch judge going on here. We know there was a bit of mauling in that tackle, but there was worse over here before when Dannett went in with a second tackle on John Harrison. But stamping is what the referee's attention is going to be brought to, I feel. And it's Dannett again. Well, he didn't get picked out the last time, but he's been brought out courtesy of the touch judge. The referee, Mr. Smith, just reading him the riot act. And the referee has awarded the penalty. Yes, stamping is the indication. John Griffiths finds touch in the Hull 20-metre area. Dwyer to restart, onto John Harrison. batters his way forward, an ideal platform for the Saints to build up. Blindside to Griffiths, change of direction to Cooper, on to Nicol. And Nicol takes some pulling down. Saints will probably move the ball left, but somebody said something out of turn in the Hull side, in earshot of referee, and he's duly been penalised. Saints are going to go for goal. Bernard Dwyer going to have a go. He's a left-footed kicker. It's Paul Groves this time brings on the sand. Bernard Dwyer brings it back to the 20-metre mark. It's 10 yards, 10 metres. I'll get used to this metres shortly. Might take a while, but Bernard Dwyer just positioning himself. As I said, he's a left-footed kicker. On the correct side for him. But I think it was Gary Clark that maybe have said something out of turn. The referee was pointing over to him. And you know, you mustn't say too much in the earshot of the referee. It's amazing how some of these scrum halves, they're chattering all the while, but Bernard Dwyer kicks it, the Saints follow up. There, the Tira Patty there, excellent tackling. Holds the man behind the line, and he's forced now to drop out from between the sticks. Excellent following up by the Saints. Obviously following up just in case, as it did, the penalty goal doesn't go between the sticks. So Scott Gale, 60-metre kick for him. Chris Joint from Phil Beavers, building up a head of steam. Well, McNamara going in a little enthusiastic over the top. Well in view of us, but the touch judge didn't see it. As Sonny Nicol comes in, trying to shrug the tacklers off. Lee Jackson. He's one of the tacklers, in with Ivan Henjack. Now it's Kevin Ward. Ward powering his way upfield. Bernard Dwyer on his shoulder. And what a buzz of excitement every time this Ward gets the ball. Griffiths, Thorber. Support inside from Connolly. Bitterly cold day here at Nosey Road. Quite a decent crowd assembled. And I'm sure this stadium will be packed to the rafters. Harrison to Beavers. Dwyer's with him. Well, he gives it Dwyer, but excellent tackling, and Dwyer's lost the ball in the tackle. Good work there from Big John Harrison. Beavers in support, and then Dwyer with the last pass, but he just couldn't crash over. The Saints defence now, forcing Hull back. Well, lashing out there at the tackle. And the Saints have been penalised. Rapati allegedly accused of pushing the Hull man down. But if the referee had been watching, he lashed out at him just a seconds before. And Rapati's not a man to be tangled with, is he? The most placid of persons. But he does the job, he just gets on, pulls his shirt on every week and gets on with the work. Class player. Now it's Hull in possession. Making good yardage, moving up to the halfway line. McNamara. He scored 3 tries last week when Hull beat Halifax at the Boulevard, 26 points to 8. But now it's Marlowe coming through. Saints forced to line out. Excellent tackling from Ward there. And Nicol coming through, ready to perfection there did Kevin Ward. Forcing Hull to retreat. Now it's with number 4, Scott Gale. Pushes it upfield, Sullivan moves out, Beavers there to assist him, Sullivan into a bit of space, and he's in the clear, it's Sullivan! It must be a try for the Saints here. Sullivan takes the full back on, sends it to Beavers, and Beavers goes in. Oh, superb try! Superb try by Beavers. The ball kicked through. Beavers and Sullivan took the ball, went down the main stand side, beat the first line of cover defence, only had the full back to beat. Saints were lining up, Beavers was there was a couple on the right, and a precision pass from Sullivan to Beavers, and he went over with no problem. His first try of the season, and it extends the Saints' lead to 6 points to 0. This Bernard Dwyer conversion to come. Superb rugby from the Saints. Backing up. Now Dwyer, can he slot it? No, it looks as though it's across the face of the post. It is. 6-0 is the score. And this could be crucial next Sunday against the Pie Eaters. I mean, Botica there, he's an excellent sidestep on him, and he's brilliant with the boot. And goal kicking could be the order of the day. And I would imagine Mike McLennan will have Bernard Dwyer, Tira Patty, and anybody else that wants to have a dabble having a go practicing before next Sunday's clash. Tony Sullivan again. Breaks through the first line of defence, but Russ Walker brings him down. And this is it with the Saints. Both the wingmen coming into the action. Obviously, if you can get a half break, the speed should take them through. But it's Paul Farber. Just going to say Kevin Ward. Both Ward and Farber with the headbands. But now Dwyer taking it blindside. Scampering away. Excellent competitor Bernard Dwyer, both in defence and attack. Beavers with a deep kick, putting pressure on Gary Nolan, but he takes it comfortably. Shane Cooper comes in, closes him down, but he still breaks away, does Gary Nolan. Brought down just outside his 20-metre line. Henjack, one of 3 Aussies in the Hull side. Had a spell with Bradford Northern last season. Being forced back, but he doesn't like it. But he's going to have to suffer it, isn't he? What tremendous tackling from the Saints. Harrison and Nickel again. Ward this time, but Harrison again. Put some tackling in, does this lad. Now it's John Sharp, the loose forward. The last tackle of this sequence. Saints will press up, but the kick is going to come from Gale. Gale chips it through. Sullivan has to let it run into touch on the Saints 20-metre line. It's a scrum down with the Saints feed. Cooper feeds it, Saints have possession. Well, a high tackle. Rob Nolan, brother of Gary, just pulled out there for the high tackle. John Griffiths finds touch just short of the halfway line. Cooper onto Nickel. Takes it well, and some equally good tackling from the Hull outfit this time. Cooper onto Paul Farber. Hull moving up quickly, and that's going to be the order of the day. The referee allows you to do it, you're going to carry on, aren't you? Now with Joint. Sharp and Marlowe complete the tackle. Tira Patty, quick hands there, Beavers. Out to Sullivan. Tony Sullivan, whose late father, Clive, used to play for both the Hull clubs, Hull and Hull Kingston Rovers. Last tackle of this sequence, Cooper boots it downfield. And the last few matches, Shane Cooper, the Saints captain, he's led by example. He's always there and about, does a hell of a lot of graft during the 80 minutes. But it's Hull in possession. John Sharp. But well taken by Bernard Dwyer. Hull, the hooker, Lee Jackson, dummies to move it left, then turns it inside to his captain, Russ Walker. Now it's Marlowe, I think, is it coming through? No, Dannett, I think that time, yes, it was Dannett. Scott Gale chips it through. Puts pressure on Beavers, but he loves it, doesn't he, Beavers? He'll take them all day. Just outside his own 20-metre. Now it's Rapati into space. Tremendous upper body strength onto John Griffiths. John Griffiths goes round the fullback. He's going for the line. Oh, is he going to touch down? Yes. The try is given. Superb effort from John Griffiths. Excellent try there from John Griffiths. Took the full-back on, Gary Nolan. Went round him, waltzed round him. Just lost his footing, but there wasn't a hand on him. And he had the presence of mind to get up. The tacklers came in, but they couldn't hold him. And today's game, obviously a psychological boost for next Sunday's Lancashire Cup final here at Nosey Road. Dwyer with the conversion, no problem. Bangs it between the sticks. 12 points to 0 is the score. And we've had nearly 18 minutes of the game played. As the Saints were attacking there, the final pass to John Griffiths, it may have been borderline. I think the Saints players looked at the referee, he was right on the job. Certainly looked a line ball, but we're not going to complain about that, are we? The man in the middle with the blue shirt, he's in charge. But Saints finished off in good style, didn't they? Beavers now breaking this whole defence, and their coach, the Aussie Royce Simmons, he won't be pleased so far with the display. Well, it looked a little high on Harrison. I mean, he's only 6'7", isn't he? Takes a bit of getting up to him as Dwyer brings it blindside. Chris Joint powering his way upfield. Scott Gale does a bit of mauling and brings him down. Cooper, short ball to Ward. Now Saints put it back to John Griffiths. I don't know whether that was on the sixth tackle, I just wasn't paying attention, but Hull are penalised for offside. Saints play it quickly, and Rapati now. It's Rapati that broke through on the far side to give Griffiths the ball, but excellent work again. And the Saints are looking rampant, aren't they? Hull urged to get back on side, and referee will penalise him as he has done. Beavers, Connolly gets the ball away to Joint. He comes back into the fray. Just to the right of our commentary position, Joint's brought down. Alan Hunt had acted half-back, and Alan Hunt's in a rich vein of form. Griffiths gives the dummy, has to take the tackle. Marlowe stuck to him, along with Lee Jackson. Cooper, Kevin Ward, always looking for that half-break. He's Ward, he backs into the defence, plays it to himself. Well, he's not happy with that, it's Russell Smith. He wasn't being marked, but he said he's not played it correctly. And the oohs and ahs from the crowd round, just letting know Russell Smith that he hadn't played it, or what they think about his decision. Ward played it quickly and drove forward, but he was penalised. It's not going to go in touch, that is it? No! Excellently taken by Alan Hunt, and Hunt's away! Watch this fella go! Right up the middle! Oh, brilliant run by Hunt! Just Jackson pulls him down there, doing a bit of mauling, and he's penalised. This flamboyant wingman, Alan Hunt. The other week when we did the Sheffield match, when Paul Loughlin was with us, obviously Loughlin and Nicol having injury problems whilst on tour, but Alan Hunt and Gary Connolly, they've gone out boys and they've come back men. And just look at the size of this right-wing partnership. And Malcolm Riley should have this right-wing partnership in his team for the World Cup final. Dwyer! Harrison doing a lot of the spade work. Dwyer coming through. It's now with Connolly. Kevin Ward, centre field, right in front of the sticks. 8 yards short. 12-0, the Saints are up. Now with Cooper, Griffiths, onto Nicol. Still going forward is Nicol, but Hull are penalised. High tackle. Will Saints take it quickly? Well, I wouldn't advise it, knowing Mr. Smith there. I think Bernard Dwyer will be called up for a pop over. Usually in this situation, Shane Cooper will go in, take it quickly. But he ruled that Kevin Ward hadn't played it properly just minutes ago. It looks as though he touched it to us and played it quickly. He wasn't happy with it. But Russell Smith just explaining to the captain there, Russ Walker, his decision. He'll not be happy with it. Dwyer right in front of the sticks and shouldn't have any problem, should he? 18 minutes remaining of this first half. Dwyer looking for his third of the afternoon, which will extend the Saints' lead to 14 points to 0. Strikes it well. Bernard Dwyer, as I said, with his third penalty goal of the afternoon. Or his third goal of the afternoon, I should say. 2 penalties and a conversion to the Griffiths try. Rob Nolan kicks it high and deep. Beavers takes it comfortably, only yards from the dead ball line. Place is up for grabs, obviously, for next Sunday's Lancashire Cup final, as Chris Joyce bounces his way through. Dwyer brings it blindside. John Harrison again. Been an excellent forward in the first 23 minutes, powering his way into this Hull defence, causing havoc every time he gets the ball. Cooper to Ward, gives the dummy, has to take the tackle. Last tackle of this sequence. Well, Hull moving up quickly. The referee not penalising them this time as Griffiths gets the kick away. It bounces kindly for the Saints. Finds touch on the Hull 20-metre line, or just outside the Hull 20-metre line. Scrum down with the Saints feed. Henjack to feed it. Loose forward Sharp comes up with possession. Jackson trying to come through the blind. I beg your pardon, it's Gary Clark trying to come through the blind. Jackson, the attacking half-back now. It's Gary Clark on the left wing for Hull, the ex-Hull KR flyer. He played against the Saints in the 85 Championship final at Ellen Road. He went to Scarborough Pirates a season or so ago, but with Scarborough folding, he's now getting first-team rugby at Hull. Hull have possession. This is the last one of the set of 6. Scott Gale chips it through. Sullivan couldn't stop it. Found touch on the far side. Scrum down with the Saints feed, just outside the Saints 10-metre area. Good positional kicking on the 6th tackle by Hull. The scrum has collapsed. The referee, he'll not be happy with that, will he? He'll be reformed again, I would imagine. Yes, obviously he's just pointing to the correct blade of grass there, which he wants the scrum formed on. Cooper feeds. Saints have possession. Cooper and Griffiths there. Well, Griffiths onto Sullivan. Looks as though Cooper was coming for the loop round, but he's there again, is Shane Cooper. Whichever position he plays, always gives 100%. Last season he went through a bit of a bad patch, as most players can do. Got a lot of stick. And now Saints lining up again. Good ball there. Well, I could say good ball to Tira Patty. It looked a hint forward, but play allowed to go on. The referee was going to blow up for a forward pass, but he's allowed play to go on. Russ Walker, the Hull captain, retrieved the ball. It's now with Henjack. Jackson attacked in halfback. "26 minutes of the game gone, 14 points to 0, Saints in command. as opposed to the last couple of games we've played. Salford in the Lancashire Cup and Wakefield away last Sunday, where Saints were trailing at half-time, but came through with the spoils. Well, good ball from Cooper, onto Connolly. Let's see Connolly go. He's down the wing. Can he outpace the fullback? He can. No problem. Connolly touches it down. And Saints in for the third try of the afternoon. Saints putting pressure on the Hull defence. And who did it come from again there? Only the Saints captain, Shane Cooper. He charged the ball down, had the presence of mind to pick it up quickly. Just ran that few yards, giving a bit of space, and he gave it to Connolly. And you'll have a job outpacing Connolly. Must be the fastest wing pairing in the rugby league here, Connolly and Hunt. Connolly in for his 6th of the season. Saints' third try of the afternoon. Bernard Dwyer hoping to get it between the sticks this time. Strikes it well, oh yes, beautiful kick, Bernard. £20 points to 0 the score. 28 minutes gone on the clock. And Hull on the wrong end of a 20 points to 0 caning so far. And an ideal build-up for the Saints. As I've said before next Sunday's Lancashire Cup final. Well, Tirapati lets it go through his legs. Beavers tidies it up. And Beavers scampers away. Gains a valuable 10 metres. Forward from acting half-back, but Hull are penalised again for offside. On the referee's left. They have been lying up. Wakefield were lying up last Sunday, but they weren't penalised as much as referee Smith has been doing today. And obviously somebody else saying something out of turn, and he marches them back another 10 yards. 10 penalties at the Saints, I make it, with 2 going to Hull, and we've had 29 minutes of the half gone. So John Harrison bursting through, and one wag from the crowd there, just asking referee Smith what he's doing next Sunday. Let's hope that whoever officiates the final will keep Wigan on side. I'm sure the Saints will be on side all afternoon. Dwyer again, Cooper and Griffiths. Nickel coming through, Ward tidies it up. A planned ploy there from the Saints. A couple of times Nickel's come through, running from deep, and the movement hasn't come off on that occasion. Well, it didn't come off the last time, did it? Obviously it's a good move. You've got to get these forwards coming through on the burst. Connolly comes in, completes the tackle there on Henjak. Now with Gary Clark, but he's going nowhere. Jackson, well, not lined up correctly at the play of the ball, is the referee's indication. Hull get their 3rd penalty of the afternoon's entertainment. 20 points to 0 the score for the Saints. And now it's Scott Gale looking for yardage. Finds touch 10 metres short of the 20 metre line. Jackson the hooker. Henjak, Clark coming in field. Shouldn't have any problem with him, should we? He used to have a bit of pace in his early days. McNamara, 2nd row forward for Hull, in a rare Hull excursion just outside the 20 metre area. Marlowe, well taken down. Forber and Griffiths. Hull taking it blindside. Now it's with the hooker, Jackson. But Saints equal to the task. Kevin Ward quickly over there. Marlowe again, he's coming through. Last tackle of this sequence. Let's see what Hull have up the sleeve. They look as though they're going to run it, play it left. But it's going to be chipped through. Going to go dead, too far. Chipped through by Rob Nolan for Scott Gale. Dwyer there on the 25, takes it quickly. Sullivan coming through, looking for that half break. Sonny Nickel looking for the pass, but well clamped there by John Sharp and Rob Nolan. Kevin Ward powers his way upfield. Tireless worker in the St. Tranks. Harrison did well, gets it away now to Chris Joint. Out to the back door to Cooper. Takes it over to Connolly. Connolly sees the gap, puts the welly down. Support from Hunt. Hunt takes it, only the full-back to beat. Hunt feeds it inside, Connolly's there. Support from Cooper. Oh, superb try. Superb try. Cooper's third try of the season, and this is what it's all about in the Saints this afternoon. Backing up, following the man with the ball. Good play just below us. Gary Connolly siding through a big hole in the Hull defence. He gave it to Alan Hunt. Hunt took the full back on, stood in the tackle, fed it inside to Connolly again, and then Shane Cooper, always prodding and probing, sniffing around, and he touched down 12 yards in from the touchline here. 24 points to 0. And Bernard Dwyer, similar position from his last attempt. Is it going to curl in? Oh, just shaves the left-hand post. 24-0 the score, and we're still about 7 minutes of this half remaining. They've only got 6 points from 3 wins this season. They've beaten Bradford, the old pie eaters, and Halifax. They beat Wigan on their own midding, didn't they? Even though it was only the drop goal that separated them. But it's still 2 good points against Wigan, and that certainly could help the Saints campaign. And Wigan hoping to retain the championship, but Saints well on the way, unbeaten in the league, and I can't see any problem this afternoon. 24 points to 0 up, and Forber bouncing through there. Harrison turns in the tackle, has to take the tackle. Saints forwards always eager to release it. John Neal out injured, but he's been playing tremendously in the front row, and a big disappointment for the Saints when John Neal received that injury in the Lancashire Cup second round against Widnes. Hull penalised. Griffiths finds touch on the halfway line, and Saints now will build up again. Kevin Ward starts us off. John Harrison now releases it to Kevin Ward, turns in the tackle, well, looking for support. He tried to get it away over the top, but McNamara read it well, just intercepted it. And Hull looking to make a double substitution. Both of their substitutes warming up on the front here by the dugout. Chris Joint penalised. I think it was Joint that was penalised for pulling a player back. So it's Andy Dannett and Rob Nolan that are being substituted by Paul Harrison and Mike Dixon. The substitutes are allowed to take place. So Royce Simmons obviously disappointed, as you could well imagine, on the wrong end of a 24 points to 0 scoreline, but he's hoping he can inject a little bit of pace into the Hull side. This Mike Dixon, not the biggest of forwards, but he's always there and about. Plays hooker, but he's also lively in the loose. Gary Clark has the ball for Hull. Jackson attacked in half, now with McNamara. But there's been no gaps in the Saints defence so far this afternoon, with 4 minutes to the interval. John Sharp Good cover defence. Shane Cooper completed the tackle. Ward was round the top. Henjack again, but it's Gale, Scott Gale moving it over to the right. I said it's Scott Gale, James Grant and Ivan Henjack, the three Aussies in the Hull team this afternoon. Last tackle of this sequence, and Hull are running it. Sharp, well, an adventurous ball over to Gary Nolan. Whether Hull had read it right or not, I don't know. They certainly just carried on playing it. Griffiths, good ball to Rapati, into space. Support from Beavers. He took it well under a lot of pressure. Substitute to Paul Harrison had him wrapped up. Cooper and Joint now. He gets it away to Dwyer. Good ball to Connolly. Well, Connolly, the leading Clark. Well, that's a high tackle, and the touch judge is in. But Gary Clark wrapping a high one round Connolly's head. The referee didn't see it, but the touch judge picked it up. And Hull are penalised again. The 12th penalty against the Saints. He just, the touch judge just reported to referee Smith. Clark is going to be brought out, and rightly so. Keep it low, the referee says to him. No problem for Connolly. He's got a neck like a bull, hasn't he? But they're still high. He can take it all day. And another one of the most placid players in the Saints ranks. Dwyer onto Ward. Cooper was there looking for the pass. You've got to follow this man Ward all day. Jackson doing a bit of mauling. Dwyer onto John Harrison. Well, Sharp brings him down. Dwyer again. Cooper onto Griffiths. Griffiths onto Nicol. Nicol's going to go in. Yes! Nicol goes in for his 4th of the season. John Griffiths gave the dummy, took the tackle. The ball was slipped away quickly to Sonny Nicol, and he's been running rampant all this first half. Even though he has been coming through at pace, he's been unable to stick hold of the ball on a couple of occasions, but he didn't make any mistake that time, did he? Powered his way forward. Saints' 5th try of the afternoon, 28-0, and Bernard Dwyer's conversion to come. Saints register 30. Dwyer's 5th goal. 5 tries for the Saints. 30 points to 0 the scoreline. And in the last minute of normal time, we may not... well, he may get his kick away from the centre spot. But I'm sure Mike McLennan will be ecstatic with his team's performance in the first half. No doubt he'll still pick the holes out of them in the areas that he feels that the side hasn't been doing well, but you'll have a hard job this afternoon. I would think well played in every department. Scott Gale kicks it deep. Sullivan picks it up. Was careful there as the Hull defence steamed in, but now it's Forber. There's the half-time hooter. Plenty for the Saints to shout about this afternoon. The supporters, that is, of course, and the team. After trailing in the last 2 games at half-time by 5 points to 2 on both occasions, a 5-try and 5-goal demolition job on the Hull outfit this afternoon. So half-time here at Nosey Road. It's Saints 30, Hull 0. We're back with you now for the second half. As the Saints come out, and have a birthday mention to Kevin Armstrong. Yes, it's you, Kevin Armstrong. 10 years of age on the 14th of October. I know this is an early mention. I know you're a regular viewer of our Saints videos. Best wishes from Mum Sue, also Gran and Grandad, that's Ev and Ken Williams. Your regular supporters of the Saints, I know you just stand below the restaurant at that end, home and away, and then well, obviously not away in front of the restaurant, but home, and then you relive the action on our Saints video, our first-class product. Kevin's favourite player is Bernard Dwyer, an excellent choice, Kevin, may I say, and he's having an excellent game this afternoon, isn't he? So, birthday wishes for you, Kevin. 10 years old on the 14th of October. And I also know it's your mum's birthday the day before, so happy birthday to you, Sue. If I can also give a mention to my mother-in-law. Birthday greetings on the 14th of October to Irene Dukes. She's a very young 74 years of age. And as a special present this year, we bought her a chair, but the only trouble, she won't plug it in. But anyway, best wishes to you, Irene, and many more to come. Hull get us underway. Paul Farber excellently picked it up off his bootlaces. Harrison now bringing it up blind. Solid Hull tackling. I would imagine Roy Simmons, he'll have been in there and giving him the order of the boot. Good chip kick from Cooper. Griffith takes it, but he's penalised him. He said he was offside. Astute kick there from Shane Cooper, and this is what's needed on against a side that's pressing up all the time. But Hull have been awarded the penalty. John Griffith's penalised for allegedly being offside. We'll just have to rewind and watch that again on the video, won't we? Scott Gale kicking for position. As I said before, bitterly cold day, quite a stiff breeze blowing round this stadium. Russ Walker, the Hull captain, he'll have been trying to G his side up in the half-time interval. Both Hull substitutes on. Saints with a tremendous performance in this first half, leading by 30 points to 0. No way through on the far side. Connolly and Griffiths close the Hull attack down. Paul Harrison trying to scamper through there. Nickel has him. Now it's with Marlowe. He's brought down right in front of the sticks. The last tackle of the sequence. Henjack out wide. Looking for runners. Sharp's there. But no problem for the Saints. Rapati tackles him round the legs. Griffiths round the top. And Hull surrender the ball yet again. Well, that's a high tackle on Rapati by Sharp. The referee was right in, but no penalty. Hull penalised, moving up too quickly. Had to play the ball. A chance for the Saints to gain a valuable yardage. John Griffiths going to kick over to the popular side. Excellent kick from Griffiths, finds touch on the halfway line. Dwyer quickly in to restart. John Harrison, tireless in the powerhouse, in the pack. The basis of the Saints side. And another tireless forward there is Kevin Ward. Hull urged again to get back on side. They should realise now that the referee will penalise them. Farber. He was looking to slip it out the back to Rapati and Sullivan. He'd not much room, but he had to take the tackling. The Hull defence. Oh, Sharp wraps one round Griffiths' head, but it's now with Tony Sullivan. He gets it away to Cooper. The Saints looking hungry for more points. Now it's John Harrison, he'll straighten it up. Right in front of the sticks. Will we get a drop goal attempt? Well, not playing the ball correctly is going to be the indication. Kneeling down while he's playing it. It's relieved a bit of pressure as far as Hull are concerned. Always a lot of mauling at these play the balls. And Hull find touch now, just a few metres in from their own 20-metre line. Marlowe, the big prop forward, he's brought down with Harrison and Farber. Russ Walker takes the tackle. Well, a few Hull speckies at the Eddington stand end singing the Old Faithful, trying to raise their side, but they take some raising, won't they? Well, loose play there, the ball coming loose, and it looked either a knock-on or an offside decision, but play allowed to go on. As Jackson scampering through, it's the last tackle of the sequence. The referee was right on the job. Henjack gets it away to McNamara, out to Sharp. Well, Sharp taken down again on the sixth tackle. 2 or 3 times this fella, he's been unable to get the ball away, or he just died with the ball. But Alan Hunt takes it up to the 20-metre line. Long ball, Saints looking for the gaps in the Hull defence. Nickel has it. It's released to Rapati. Tremendous upper body strength, he gets it away to Griffiths. On to Chris Joynt now. Superb handling by the Saints. Saints in possession, Hull lining up. It's all offside on the referee's left. Nickel, well, he was coming through Nickel. It's support from Dwyer and Beavers on his right. But a high tackle again. It's the captain, Russ Walker this time. He's been picked out. John Griffiths again. They'll be asked to find touch on the Popular side. He's not going to find touch, is he? Yes, it is. It looked to be swirling. As I said, there's quite a stiff swirling breeze. Dwyer plays it on to John Harrison. Looking for support. Griffiths is there. Gives the side step into Rapati. Oh, yes! Superb try! Rapati with the try. Good work by Griffiths there. Harrison first, then Griffiths coming through. Good ball onto Tia Rapati. And it was a case around the back, Uncle Stan. Roll as you cap. The ball went round the back, but he stuck hold of it. And his excellent strength took him over. Tia salutes the crowd, and look at the grin on this fella's face. A grin from ear to ear. But Bernard Dwyer now successful with 5. Missed a couple as well, but that's it. 6th try, 6 different players on the score sheet. Dwyer, no, takes it away in front of the posts. 34-0 the score. As I say, a bitterly cold day, but this will certainly warm the Saints public. And a good build-up towards next Sunday's Lancashire Cup final here at Knowsley Road. Saints doing the double over Hull last season, 31 points to 10. I think it was the opening game of the season, was it, at Hull last year? Come away with a good win, as I said, 31-10, then 42 points to 12 here at Knowsley Road. Farber takes it from the kick-off. Saw the gap, ran for it. Bernard Dwyer bringing it blind. Well wrapped up by his counterpart Lee Jackson. Sonny Nickel into space. Inside ball to Griffiths. Rapati's with him. Saints are lining up. Griffiths, well, Sullivan tidies it up. Play allowed to go on. Cooper's there. But Griffiths and Rapati, I think if Griffiths had given Rapati, he'd have been under the sticks. But Kevin Ward, he's going toward the line. Just inches short. Rapati sees the gap, he's going in. He's looking for his second. Can he power his way over? No. But I'm sure the ball will come right along the line now. It's the last tackle of this sequence. Griffiths chips it. It's going to be too deep. He's flattened as he kicked the ball through. But a point's going a bag in there, in my opinion, for the Saints. With Griffiths bursting up centre field. I think the ball should have gone to Rapati straight away, and he'd have been under the sticks. But it wasn't. Saints have just lost the impetus, and now Hull have possession. Russ Walker, second row forward and captain for Hull. Well, McNamara couldn't take it. Mike Dixon wraps it up. The ball had gone back, says referee Smith. Hull bringing it blind. Well, I don't think he knows where it wants to go. Marlowe that went through with it after Jackson had tried. And now it's a substitute back, Paul Harrison. Very lacking in ideas. A Hull, but it's chipped through there. Sullivan takes it. It was chipped through by Scott Gale, but Sullivan into space, only the full back to beat. Looking for support, but there was nobody there. More or less a straight runner, Tony Sullivan. Not got the greatest of sidesteps. But anybody with a good sidestep there had a waltz right past Gary Nolan. Cooper, Harbour, sees the gap, looking for the support. James Grant was just closing his position down there. Harrison. Tidied up on the far side. But the ball's released. Bernard Dwyer has to cover it up. It's Chris Joint that tried to get it away. Now it's with Sonny Nicol from a standing start. And we know what power Nicol has. 10 minutes gone in the second half. 34-0. The Saints are in the lead, and it's the last tackle of this sequence. Griffiths, positional kick over the top. Taken by Gary Nolan. Richard Gay, the usual full-back for Hull, out injured, along with Andrew Mighty. He's the wingman. Paul Eastwood, prolific goal kicker, also a wingman for Hull. He's out with a badly gashed head. Now it's Marlowe for Hull. Saints defence holding firm, 11 minutes of the half gone. Hull still running hard, but Saints wrapping them up. Last tackle again for Hull. Henjack puts it back to Gale. Kicks it crossfield. Gary Connolly gathers it safely. Connolly there just toying with the Hull defence. Saw the gap, side through it, but just as his ankles tapped. Paul Farber. Bernard Wright at dummy half. The ball released to Kevin Ward. Ward stepping through the tacklers. Finally put to ground. Walker, he wasn't happy with it. Connolly, good long cut-out pass. The ball back from Beavers to Joint, I think it is, that tidies it up. Did well there. Henjack doing a bit of mauling. Griffiths brings it blindside, chips it through. Tony Sullivan chasing up. Sullivan there completes the tackle on Ian Stephen. McNamara, is it McNamara? No, it's Nolan, I beg your pardon. I thought it was McNamara, the second rower. Nolan, the full-back it was, stepping up, attacking half-back now with Mike Dixon, running it crossfield. Farber wraps him up, man and ball, brings him to the earth. 10 metres inside the Hull half. Jackson the hooker, trying to get through, no room for him. Hull are just going through the motions, putting it across the line. Now it's James Grant. The ball may in Aussie, and Hull are going nowhere. It's the last tackle of this sequence for them. It's back to Gale. He tries a little short chip through, but Beavers just gathers it now as James Grant comes in to complete the tackle. Marlowe there and McNamara. Saints play it quickly. Harrison up the centre. Dwyer now. Tireless player. Farber on to Chris Joint, running out wide. Sullivan was coming through, but Joint being mauled, yes, only rightly so. Henjack penalised again. Come on, the referee says. Rightly so, Joint wanted to get up and play it quickly, but he was held down. Hull rightly penalised, and John Griffiths finds a valuable 15 metres, and the play will restart 10 metres in, right on the 20 metre line. Faber. Well, complaints there from the Hull captain Russ Walker that Faber was going in with the elbow. I wouldn't imagine Paul Faber would do anything of that description. Saints 10 metres from the Hull line. John Harrison powering forward. Saints looking to register the second try of this second half. Griffiths, Ward, pushes the defence off. Well, the ball coming back. Can Saints tidy it up? Yes. Connolly, long ball to Hunt. Yes, Alan Hunt on the sixth tackle, in at the far corner. In for his first of the afternoon, since 7th of the afternoon, all by different players. Alan Hunt's 12th try of the season, and he must be up there at the top of the try scorers in the Stones Bitter League. And old Brimmer Kebby, the ex-Saint, playing now at Bradford via Huddersfield, was in a rich vein of try scoring form, but so is Alan Hunt, always sharp, and he looked good over there in the corner. Takes a lot to pull Hunt down. Tremendous strength. 38 points to 0. And Bernard Dwyer, difficult kick. Awkward swirling wind. Let's see if Dwyer can pop it through. Strikes it well, but it's narrowed. Waved away by the touch judges. .38-0 the score. 16 minutes of the half gone, and Hull certainly looking a spent force, aren't they? Halifax, they obviously high-ish flyers early on in the Stones Bitter League Championship, and as I said, Hull beat Halifax at the Boulevard last week, 26 points to 8. But nothing down for them this afternoon. Saints in a rich vein of form right from the start. Faber takes it from the kick-off, drives up the score well. Took a high one there from captain Russ Walker, the Hull captain. But Faber just gets up and laughs at him. Shane Cooper. Now it's Bernard Dwyer scampering away. Well, looked a little naughty that in the tackle, upended. Kevin Ward, Beaver's on his right, but there's 3 and 4 round Ward every time he gets this ball. Faber again, tireless runner. Last tackle of this sequence, the referee's left arm aloft there. Rapati kicks it upfield. Is he going to go dead? It is, directly dead. You can see the strength of this breeze here at Nosey Road. Hull will restart with a tap from the centre of the 25, and Hull are looking to make a substitution. Well, it's taking place now. The fullback, Gary Nolan, has come off, and number 6, Rob Nolan, has gone back on. The Hull restart. Moving it left, McNamara coming through. He scored a hat-trick last Sunday, but nothing down for him this afternoon. John Sharp forced back. Excellent tackling from Dwyer and Harrison. Saints quickly mark up, and it's Dixon trying to scamper through. No, I beg your pardon, it was Jackson that time. The kick from Hull. Pine's touch. About 12 metres short of the Saints line. Scrum down with the Saints feed. Shane Cooper will feed this one. I don't know whether I'm correct, but I think this may be the first scrum of the second half. The game has been that open. We've had 19 minutes of the second half. Saints come up with ball possession. Rapati nearly breaking the first line of defence. And you need to give him a small gap, Rapati. Sniff of the line and he's away. Well, Former taking a high one again from John Sharp. Wasn't malicious, probably brushed up off his body. Kevin Ward brushes the tacklers off, he's still going forward. Push McNamara away there. Didn't know where he was then, McNamara. With Ward coming through at full pace. Harrison. Nichols on his shoulder. Hull urge to get back on side, and the Saints are gaining valuable yardage. Upfield, Dwyer again. Quickly dispatched. The tacklers there quickly in. Last tackle of this sequence for the Saints. Griffiths gets it away. Nolan on to full-back. He missed the ball, it ran directly dead, and Hull will restart from the centre of the 20-metre line with a tap. The referee just waiting for Hull to get back on side. Well, surely that's time wasting, isn't it? So now it's Hull. Dixon, I think that is the substitute forward, looking to scamper through. Lee Jackson attacked in half. Halfway through this second half, 38 points to 0 is the score. And the Saints building up nicely before next Sunday's clash of the Titans between the Saints and Wigan here in the Lancashire Cup final. A game I know you won't miss. Nolan flicks it out wide. Scrum down just inside the Saints half with the Saints feed. Jackson the last man in. Cooper feeds it. Loop movement with Griffiths. On to Alan Hunt. Long ball to, well, like I say, long ball to Sullivan. The idea was right. Hull caught on the far side here with a lack of men. Hunt coming off the right wing over to the left. Tried the long cut-out ball to Sullivan, but it was too high. Sullivan couldn't take it, even though Hull was stretched. Touch found, with the ball going directly in, and a scrum down now with a Hull feed. Henjack was going to feed it, but the referee had already blown up. Differential penalty. And the Popular Side faithful, well, that's not going to find touch, is it? The Popular Side faithful just letting the referee know what they thought of that decision. But I think justice is done in the end and Saints have possession. Tony Sullivan looking to scamper through. Hull urge to get back on side, but the referee, well, John Harrison gets it away to Tony Sullivan. Just can't evade the clutches there of McNamara. Now it's with Sonny Nicol. Powering his way forward, these big Saints forwards. Take some pulling down. Shane Cooper opts for the dummy. Changes direction, gives it to Harrison. He takes it to Forber. Saints looking for the runners. They just caught a little bit flat-footed there of the Saints. From what we've seen them this afternoon anyway, it was. Last tackle of this sequence. Now with Vivers, gets it away under pressure. Awkward ball for Ian Steen, but he takes it well. Runs at Joint and Sullivan, and they combine to bring him to earth. Sharp attacked in half, onto Marlowe. McNamara, but Harrison wraps him up. Chris Joint in there tirelessly. Sharp inside to Nolan. Rob Nolan came on to replace brother Gary, and a straight positional change. But Hull trying to spread it out. It bounced off a Hull man, the substitute Dixon, and Shane Cooper was there and gratefully accepted it. Chris Joint. Griffiths brings it blindside, turns it infield. looking for the gap and driving forward. Excellent campaigner, John Griffiths. Beavers drives it up centre. Nickel there as well, he couldn't release it. Well, Beavers, he's been mauled at the play of the ball, but he's adjudged to not have played it properly. You'll have a job playing it properly, won't you, when you've got two defenders on your back? But he's been penalised, and another excellent display from the referee of what the penalty has been given for. And Hull didn't find touch again as Alan Hunt comes away and brings it up centre. McNamara wrapping him up, and two more defenders coming in. An abysmal display by the Hull side this afternoon in both rugby and obviously positional kicking. Farber just having a few words with Lee Jackson there. Harrison onto Joint. Well, he's lost the ball as Joint. He's disappointed with himself, as you can see there. Bringing it blindside. Tirapati just gives him a pat on the back of the head. Just get cracking like, and back into the fray. These things happen. 15 minutes remaining. Saints well up here at 38-0. The ball's out, Henjack gathers it. Now it's with the Gale, he tried to get it away, but Saints tidy it up. Joint onto Connolly, can the Saints spread it quickly? Connolly sees the gap, changes direction, comes in on the opposite diagonal. McNamara wraps him up. Beavers sees the gap, goes up centre field. Saints captain Shane Cooper, he's organising his troops. He knows where he wants them. Now it's Sonny Nickel. Well, that was a high one on Nickel, wasn't it? McNamara it was that time. But Kevin Ward pushing the defence off. Cooper, Griffiths along the line, Rapati. Excellent tackling by Henjack there. Many a time you've seen Rapati step through. Cooper chips it. Putting pressure on Rob Nolan. And Cooper first there to complete the tackle. And Saints, they're going to keep Hull down in their own 20-metre area. Well, Hull looked as though they was going to feed it onto Russ Walker. But it was Jackson that had to take the tackle. It's now with McNamara. Saints looking to bring a substitute on. Paul Groves is getting stripped just at the dugout. About 13 minutes of the game remaining. Hull trying to spread it, and Marlowe there has it. But Saints captain Shane Cooper, who's been tireless this afternoon. Well, Henjack stepping away. Gets it away now to Ian Stephen. Sullivan wraps him up. The ball's fed inside to Henjack. Well, the play's allowed to go on, and Hull finish off with a try, courtesy of James Grant. Shane Cooper moved up quickly, and James Grant went in. Henjack created the gap. A ball out to Ian Stephen, then inside to James Grant, and Hull touchdown for the first points. Saints going to make a dual substitution now with John McAtee coming on to replace Shane Cooper. Obviously Mike McLennan, he'll want Shane Cooper fit and well for next Sunday's clash with the Pie Eaters, and McAtee coming on. Paul Groves also coming on for Kevin Ward. Oh, beg your pardon, John Harrison. Obviously we're that used to Wardy being in the number 8. But it's John Harrison that's going to come on. It's Ian Stephen entrusted with the goal-kicking duties. But Henjack there just penetrating the Saints ranks. It's a bit late for Hull, isn't it? Only 12 minutes to go. 38 points to 4. And now this dual substitution. Shane Cooper there coming off, and John Harrison, and Shane, the captain, he goes over and shakes hands with Paul Groves. and young John McAtee, and he's been setting this Alliance team alight as McAtee, and I'm sure he's of a good pedigree. His dad, also John, used to play for Lee, and he'll not let the Saints down this afternoon. He's looking forward to this. He wants to get straight into the action, and Hull now just registering the first points. Bit of a consolation try, we may say, as Mike Dixon comes through. Farber closes him down. John Sharp. The first time we've seen Hull throw the ball about, they came away with points. A long way back to Hull when you're on the end of a 38 points to 4 Tonkin, isn't it? Loose ball. Alan Hunt quickly in there, but he closes Gary Clark down. Back to Gale for the kick downfield. Beavers will recover it. They bring it over. Tony Sullivan gets it on the opposite diagonal. Creates a bit of space. Paul Groves, first touch onto Chris Joint. Brings it out wide, does Joint, running up this blind side and gains excellent yardage. McAtee, first touch. Well, a rather high one there. Dixon, I think it is, going on McAtee. Ward for the Saints, still tirelessly driving upfield. John Griffiths gets it away to Beavers, always up with the back line is Beavers. Sixth tackle of this sequence, Groves onto Griffiths, chip kick through, the chase is on. Stephen taken by Sullivan, well he's in touch, but his play allowed to go on. Rapati has it, well, the touch judge had raised his flag. Dannett coming back on to replace captain Russ Walker, but good tackling there from Tony Sullivan. Hull make the final substitution of the afternoon. McAtee feeds, out to Griffiths, back to McAtee, sees the gap, oh he's under the sticks, oh the referee has brought him back for crossing. What an ideal start that would have been for this young fella. The popular side get behind young McAtee, chanting his name, but the referee right on the job. Well, he's only keeping the score down, isn't he, Smith? 38-4 it is. An excellent play from the Saints there. Marlowe. Prop forward for Hull. Now it's with Sharp. Trying to give the dummy a bit of variation there. Saints stick to the task and Groves and Rapati bring him down. Now with Dannett, just come back on and gets the ball away to Jackson. Looked to hint forward as he slipped it out. Scott Gale onto Nolan. Gets it away under pressure. It's Harrison. Chips it through, Paul Harrison for Hull that is, and the try's given. Hull showing a little bit of enterprise, moving it quickly over to the far side. And Paul Harrison chipped it through. Followed his kick up and beat the chase. No, should I say won the chase for the line, and Hull register the second try. 38 points to 8 at present, after Saints keeping a clean score sheet for 55 minutes, for 67 minutes obviously before that Grant try, and in the space of 6 minutes now Hull have registered 2 tries. I'm sure the Saints coach Mike McLennan will be having a few stern words with the defensive capabilities in some areas, but a good display from the Saints this afternoon. 38-0 at one stage. Now it's 38 points to 8. And I would imagine it's Stephen, the right wing, looking to convert it. Just a little encouragement from the Saints' popular side faithful, as no doubt they'll be getting from the main stand side as well. Well narrowed and waved away by the touch judges. 38-8 the score. 5 minutes of the game to go. Tirupati from the centre spot. And Hull hitting back quickly there after Saints just having a try disallowed at the opposite end for an alleged crossing movement. But it's Marlowe comes through there, Groves brings him down, and Hull moving it quickly, sharp. Dwyer, Groves and John Griffiths in at the tackle. That's 3 tackles for Hull. They're moving it over to the left. It's Gale, sees the gap, support inside, which looked to hint forward again, but referee Smith allows play to go on. Now it's Gale, on to Sharp, forced back by Rapati. Last tackle of this sequence. McNamara steps up at the acting halfback, and McNamara chips it into touch, just short of the 20-metre line. Hull have been caught on numerous occasions in possession on the last tackle, but McNamara grubbered it in that time. Scrum down with the Saints feed. McAtee feeds it well. Saints have possession now with John Griffiths. Bill Beavers driving it up, support from Groves, the ball back, Dwyer tidies it up. Now it's Griffiths. Ball knocked down by Hull. McAtee to feed yet again. Tried to come round the blind side, but he's quickly wrapped up. Ivan Henjak, seasoned campaigner, as Bernard Dwyer brings it blind side. Dwyer gives the dummy, drives up centre field. All Hull, they took that. Sullivan, that dummy half. Griffiths along the line, McAtee. Good ball to Rapati, but it's ruled forward. Saints with a 2-man overlap on the far side. Certainly looked to hint forward from our angle, but Tirupati comes back with it, but McAtee showed a bit of class there as he moved it over to the right. Henjak will feed this scrum. We're in the last 3 minutes. 38-8 the score, and Hull have possession. Nolan feeds it inside to James Grant. The ball released, it certainly looked off the floor there as he released it up to the substitute back, Paul Harrison. Andy Dannett. As Hull spread it along the line. Scott Gale giving the dummy, moving back inside. He has to take the tackle of Faber, Groves and Chris Joint. James Grant. Wrestle to the ground. 6th tackle of this sequence. Saints urge to get back onside as Henjak lofts it high. A tester here, but Beavers is coming for it. Well, Saints allowing Hull obviously to get it. As Sullivan trying to come away, well, he's forced into touch. Saints allowed Hull to regather the ball. It was on the 6th tackle. Then it was spread out to Tony Sullivan, and solid Hull tackling, forcing him into touch just outside the 20-metre line. Hull come up with the feed from the scrum. Jackson, Nolan onto McNamara. He gets the ball away. Nolan has it now. Nickel wraps him up. The ball coming back, not touching a Saints hand there. And Dannett. He's brought down centre field. Just about 12 yards short of the Saints line. Henjak changes direction, gives it to Nolan. He's looking for the gap in the Saints defence. It's quickly wrapped up. He's gained about a yard of forward motion. Now with Dixon. Brought to the ground, last tackle of this sequence. Hull no doubt will run it. They bring it left. James Grant tries to chip it through. It's touched the Saints player. Well, I'd say it's touched the Saints player. It's obviously the changeover is ruled. Hull miles offside there, as the Saints aim to play it, but it's Alan Hunt. Still going forward, Alan Hunt. One try to his name this afternoon. 70, well, yes, rightly so, referee. I was just going to say, Alan Hunt pulled off the ball as he went to play it, and somebody said something out of turn. Saints get a penalty, and now it's Kevin Ward up the centre, but he's had the ball wrestled from his hands. It was touched by a Hull player. Surely it was knocked out by a Hull player, but it doesn't matter. There's the final hooter. An exciting game here at Nosey Road. Obviously the game won before Hull went in for 2 late tries. But a great performance, an ideal platform to build up for next week's Lancashire Cup final. The final score 38 points to 8. 7 tries from the Saints, courtesy of Beavers, Griffiths, Connolly, Cooper, Nicol, Rapati and Alan Hunt. 5 Bernard Dwyer goals. As I said, it was 38-0 up to the 67th minute, and then Hull running in for 2 consolation tries. So thanks once again for joining us. 38-8 the final score. Obviously Martin White, today's matchday mascot, he'll be pleased with the performance, especially with his favourite Alan Hunt getting on the score sheet, and also for a birthday boy Kevin Armstrong, 10 years of age, next Wednesday I think it is, the 14th, and an excellent display in both defence and attack from Bernard Dwyer, Kevin's favourite. As I said, thanks for joining us. We hope you'll join us next Sunday for the Lancashire Cup final here at Nosey Road versus Wigan.